Hello, Kindred Spirits, and welcome to my spiritual oasis. Here, weary souls come to find inner wisdom and peace. Today, we are going to be doing another Soulful Sunday reading. Our messages will be guided by our divine feminine energy today. So, the intent of these Soulful 7 messages is to fill your cup up for the week. So whenever you're getting this message, these are timeless messages. The message is meant for you to take forward with you for the next 5 to 7 days. So we'll be doing multiple groups, at least 3 groups. Everything is intuitive, nothing is prepared. So for every group, there'll be like a reading for everybody. And then we'll be laying out some soul truth questions for you to select. A question to focus on for the week, an area of your life to focus on for the week, to meditate on, to contemplate, to just kind of be your focus for the week before we meet again next week. So, without further ado, we're actually going to go ahead and get right into the groups. If you need to pause the video here to meditate on which group or groups you believe has your message in, please do so now. All of the links to all the groups will be in the description box. Hello, group number 1, and welcome to your reading. We're going to go ahead and give our divine feminine energy a shuffle today. What messages, what soulful cup filling messages do you have for group number 1 for this week? What messages does our divine feminine have? Okay, so we have Shekinah, the presence of the divine feminine. At the center of everything, there is light, and I am that light. Well, the first things that come to mind for me when channeling this energy is that even in darkness, there is light, because it does say the center of everything. So darkness and challenge and difficulty, even in those spaces, in those places, there is light. So this always reminds me of the message that is about focusing on the lessons of things, focusing on extracting the light out of a dark situation, out of a dark, circumstance, like trying to find, I guess, the silver lining with everything rather than focusing on the difficult things, the challenging things, the hurtful things. So that's kind of the energy that I'm getting. And then also this idea of I am the light. Like, you are the light of your own life. Your energy dictates the your perception, I guess, is kind of what I'm getting here. And it's very interesting that we're talking about perception, because we turned over the Queen of Swords. So our Queen of Swords is very perceptive. Our Queen of Swords energy is strong when it comes to communication. She is a self-advocate. She advocates for herself and others if need be. Very self-reliant energy as well. And I feel like that ties in very nicely with this idea of I am the light. The center of everything, there is light. I am the light. I feel like it also kind of gives you the power of your, for your own life and your own existence, is that, you are the common denominator in every situation in your life. So I feel like this this idea of almost like taking ownership of your life and how your life manifests for you, and not focusing, not like blaming other people or, you know, blaming situations or circumstances, but like taking ownership of your own life and like really leaning into your own power when it comes to your life, basically. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune as well as the Hanged One coming into the conversation. So a lot of really powerful energy right off the bat here. We have 2 major cards and a court card. So, and the Shekinah energy to me is also very intense with this kind of fiery light energy brightness. So in our Wheel of Fortune is about adaptation. Our Hanged One is about transition. So I do feel like now is a time for you to go through a transition, I feel like, of your mind, your thought, your perception, of how you look at things in your life. And I feel like that is what Shekinah's energy is about. It's really about changing your perception and looking at it from a positive perspective, even in the difficulty. Because I feel like, you know, I feel like it is fair to acknowledge when there is challenge, when there is difficulty, but I feel like dwelling in that space is not, doesn't serve us. So I feel like the message here is to kind of, you know, focus on the positive things. I feel like, you know, in the Wheel of Fortune, it is also about, you know, as you spin the wheel, you don't know exactly where it is going to land. But I feel like mixing that with the Shekinah energy, this idea of no matter where it lands, there's going to be some light, some positivity that's going to come out of it for you. And it's really kind of how you perceive it. So even if you're going through something difficult, you know, looking at the lesson rather than the series of events that are not to your liking, and pulling out the lessons in it and growing from that. So in the Hanged One's energy, I do feel like, you know, I said we're in the process of change is kind of what I'm feeling, in a process of adapting more of our Queen of Swords energy, more of this perceptive energy, self-advocacy, focusing on communication and communicating in a way that is assertive, that is productive for us and also for others as well. And in change and transition, there is always this this idea or portion of it that is, you know, you have to sacrifice something, you have to give something up. And I feel like, you know, what exactly that is for each person might be different, but I do feel like, you know, changing your mindset, changing the way you perceive things and how you think about things is actually really challenging, because, you know, sometimes you feel like, oh, if I change my environment, or if I, you know, if I have the job that I want or the material things that I'm after, then, you know, everything will be great. But it's really about your mindset and how you think. And I feel like that's kind of just the energy in general of our conversation today for you, group number 1, is just transitioning into a more light, positive, abundant, limitless mindset. And also understanding that, you know, change is really the only guarantee that we have in life. So learning how to adapt to change, and again, finding that light, finding in the center, finding at the core of everything is a lesson, is a message that is going to bring you light and positivity. This idea of elevation in the Wheel of Fortune to me is like you elevating your thoughts, you elevating your perspective, And that will in turn also elevate other aspects of your life as well. So we have nettle being added to our conversation today. So keyword for nettle is tribulation. So I feel like we kind of touched on this energy a little bit already, but kind of just to reiterate or summarize that things are going to be tumultuous a little bit. You know, our Wheel of Fortune, we're spinning the wheel right now. We don't know exactly what's going to come out of it. We are in a place, in a space of transition right now. So I do feel like there's going to be some turmoil, even if that's in your mind. And I feel like if you find yourself being worried or being stressed out about what is to come because you maybe don't know yet, I feel like meditation, that's, meditation, affirming the things that you do want, like focusing on the things that you do want, being grateful for the things that you already have, I feel like are big messages as well moving forward for you as well, group number 1. And then ground yourself, which I feel like we literally just kind of talked about that. That's really what the intent and purpose of the meditation is. And, just leaning into your spirituality and, again, gratitude and cultivating peace and joy. These things are grounding for us so that we are able to be adaptable. Like if you are centered, if you are in alignment with your purpose and with your destiny, like any wrench that's thrown into the machine, it's not going to be devastating for you. Like it might be challenging. It might be something that you have to work through, but even through the challenge, you will still have peace. You will still find joy, joyous energy, even through that. When you are grounded, when you are in alignment, when you are connected, it's easier for you to adapt. It's easier for you to pivot, because it's like your world isn't thrown completely off center. So I feel like in the Shekinah energy, this idea of the center keeps coming up. Like being grounded means that you're in alignment. And that means that, all of your energies are connected in a central sort of space. Like there's flow between all of these different areas of life and understandings and things like that. So I feel like, again, this grounded energy, this idea of centering yourself is really important in order to adapt to the changes. And I feel like that will lessen the blow of tribulation. Like, yeah, you will go through things that are challenging, but they won't completely destroy your world when you are grounded, when you are centered, is the message that I'm getting. I'm also getting that when you quiet your mind, when you are focusing less on the, things like fear and anger and frustration and these sorts of energy, and you're leaning more into, it's very interesting. When you're focusing more on energies that are uplifting and positive, that's not to say that these negative things are, not there. It's just basically saying that you're not giving them power, is the message that I'm hearing. You're not giving them power over you. You're not giving them the ability to throw you off center, to misalign you or unalign you with your purpose, your calling, your destiny, and the blessings that are for you. And then I feel as if our message is really coming together with our, this idea of focus being, being guided by this energy of empowerment. So, focus is the energy of our essential oil card over here. And it is focused on empowerment, which I feel like is kind of what we've been talking about in general. This idea of empowerment. And that, this, the green energy is heart chakra energy. And I feel like focusing your heart chakra, that heart space energy, on empowering yourself. So the trigger statement for this card is, I don't want to be here. The true statement is, I am exactly where I need to be. So I feel like, again, that's tying into that Shekinah energy of that at the center of everything there is light. I am the light. And I feel like, like I said in the beginning of our conversation, this idea of even in the darkness or even in difficulty, there is positivity. So as we go through this transition, as we adapt to new circumstances and situations, hold on to this truth that you're exactly where you need to be. You're ready to allow the energy from the divine and Mother Earth to fuel you as you fulfill your potential here. Again, that alignment, getting in alignment with your destiny, getting in alignment with your purpose, affirming the things that you actually want to happen. They will come to pass. They will come to fruition. That is the belief and the faith portion of things coming into play. And I feel like I said, once you're in alignment with your destiny, nothing will be able to knock you off center, off the balance. You will be certain about your place and your space in this world. And like I said, difficulty is going to come, but it won't completely destroy you because you are centered, you're grounded. All right, so we're going to add some soul truth questions. The idea here again is to select one of these questions to move with you through the next 5 to 7 days. So the next week you are meditating, contemplating, really focusing on one of these questions, journaling, diaries, things like that. You're really, really focused on one of these questions for the week moving forward. So whichever question pulls you, whichever question calls to you. So the first one is, how can I be more flexible right now? This idea of adaptation comes up. What are you trying to control? Maybe it's time to let go. Let love move through you today and trust the outcome will be for your highest good. Today's soul action, or the week's soul action, is to remind yourself all week long that you are safe, that life is happening for you, and that you are not alone. Then do some yoga. So, I feel like we already kind of talked about this idea of groundedness. So whether that's through yoga or any other type of movement, I do feel like that card is calling you to do some sort of movement, some sort of physical movement to help you through. Am I communicating my needs? I feel like this is always a legitimate card, and I feel with our Queen of Swords energy, that sword energy in general, I feel like this could definitely be speaking to some of you for sure. Your needs matter. What are you needing right now that you haven't communicated? What are you afraid of? Is it possible that what you are fearing is not true? So this week, the soul action is to journal the answers to the questions that are listed on this card. The questions consist of, what are my needs? Am I saying no and yes enough based on my desires? Am I telling my full truth? Do I believe that my needs matter? Do I share them with others? Do I ask for what I want? I mentioned earlier in our conversation to affirm the things that you do want and not dwell on the things that you don't want. So if you do not want fear and anxiety in your life, don't affirm those things. Don't lean into those things. Don't put energy behind those things. Instead, focus on the other things in your life. do I ask for what I want? When communicating my needs, when am I resisting and with whom? What do I need in order to feel safe enough to express my needs? And then our final card is going to be, how can I infuse more self-love and compassion into my daily life? I feel like at some point we all need to address that question. Okay, so if your compassion does not include yourself, it is incomplete. That is a message from Buddha. So your soul action for the week is to choose one self-care action to do every day for the week. So the list is, try to get it closer so you can see them. Set stronger boundaries, meditate and listen to your heart, speak to yourself with compassion, focus on your strengths, say no to something that isn't a soul yes, say yes to something you are afraid of, let go of what you cannot control, stay far away from drama and negativity, ask for help and allow it, write down 3 things you are grateful for. I said gratitude. Gratitude is so critical. It just turns everything upside right for me personally. All right. So group number 1, these are the messages that I have channeled for you today. I certainly hope they were helpful. Please drop a comment and let me know if something resonated. Let me know what question you're going to be moving forward with for the week. Also make sure to click like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are not already subscribed. Check out my Facebook page, like my Facebook page, and check out my Etsy shop where I curate content to help you on your spiritual and life journey. So thank you again, beautiful soul, for spending time with me today, and I shall see you in an upcoming video. Bye. Hello, group number 2, and welcome to your reading. So we're going to go ahead and give our Divine Feminine Oracle deck a shuffle. What messages do we have for group number 2 today? Did I call you group number 1 or group? I hope I called you group number 2. I'm sorry if I did wrong. All right. Sarah Lakali, Queen of the Outsiders. I have arrived. I am where I will always be, in love. I think it's really interesting anyway, this idea of being an outsider. The messages that are kind of flowing freely right now on this idea is, even if you consider yourself an outsider, understand that in spirit, you are an insider in your own existence, in your own life, in your own destined path. You are an insider. You belong exactly where you are. And like Sarah Lakali says, you're where you are where you will always be. You're in love. So in love, you always belong, and you are exactly where you need to be and should be in love. Also to understand that, like, I feel like I'm talking to some younger folks here, but popularity sounds great and all, but, having been, I feel like, growing up, I've been on the, I've always kind of been in the middle of things, like just riding down the middle. I've had friends that were popular. I've had friends that quote unquote weren't popular. I was kind of the group hopper. And I found that, everybody's kind of just the same, to be honest. Everybody wants the same things. Everybody wants to be acknowledged. Everybody wants to feel connected and feel like they belong. And people that are, even the popular people, whether it's an adult situation or a young person situation, any situation, the popular person or people they are lonely, they have issues, they are, have insecurities, all of these different things. So, if you are feeling a way about being an outsider, I feel like the message here for you is that when it comes to, spirituality and your own journey in life, that you are right where you belong. You are inside. You are in a good place. You belong here. You belong in love. So that was a meander moment, but I do feel like somebody needed to hear that. So we have our King of Swords added to the conversation, and our King of Swords energy is all about articulating being articulate and intelligent. So I feel like I am getting the energy that you are intelligent, that you are articulate. I do feel like our King of Swords energy is encouraging you to be more so, to, if you're struggling to find your voice or struggling to find a form of communication that really vibes with you, I feel like our King of Swords is all about like self-advocacy and being solid in how you communicate. Our King of Swords energy is also about truth. And I just find it really interesting that we spent time with our divine feminine energy of Sarala Kali, kind of talking about the truth of who we are. I feel like her proclaiming, like, I am the queen of the outsiders, this is who I am here, I have arrived, I'm taking up space, and I am where I will always be. I am in love. It's just this really confident proclamation and acknowledgement of who you are. And I feel like that confidence to me is really what Sarala Kali and the King of Swords is saying here. Like, be confident in who you are, speak your truth, be who you are, and be intensely. I'm getting Aquarius vibes as well, so like channeling that energy, whether you are an Aquarius or have strong Aquarian placements or not. I feel like tapping into that Aquarian energy. Our Aquariuses are very they're outspoken, they're friendly, but they also are a little avant-garde. Like, they live life on their own terms, and I completely respect that. And I feel like that's kind of the calling here, is to master your form of communication. If whether that's developing, like developing a skill. So if speaking isn't your best, maybe developing that, taking classes, or simply just practicing, just talking, just using your voice. I feel like that, whether it's that or like writing or whatever form of communication, I feel like our King of Swords is saying, let's master that. Let's find out what our truth is and lean into that and speak that proudly and confidently. So we have our Five of Cups energy added to the conversation, and I was feeling some emotional distress a little bit coming from some of you, and I feel like that was related to this idea of being an outsider and just feeling like you don't belong in some situations, or feeling uncomfortable because you feel like maybe people are looking at you different, or whatever the case may be there. But I feel like this idea of emotional turmoil or emotional discord is prevalent here with you guys, channeling that energy. And I feel like the message here is, I feel like it is leaning into the things that you are really strong at. And again, building confidence is the message that I'm receiving. Building confidence by diving into the things that you're really strong at. I feel like with a lot of you, especially if you have strong air placements, sun, moon, rising, Venus, and an air sign, if you have really strong air placements in your chart, I feel like mastering your communication style, being able to advocate for yourself, communicate effectively, I feel like that is going to actually build up your confidence. And when we're more confident, we're more attractive. When we're more confident, we're more attractive. And I feel like being able to express yourself confidently is going to help massage some of the emotional challenges that you might have. For some of you, this idea of avoidance is coming up as well, and I'm getting the message that that could be related to avoiding emotional distress, acting like things don't bother you when they do. And I feel like, whether you admit to it or not, if it bothers you, it bothers you. And I feel like admitting it, at least to yourself, so that then you can kind of move forward from that and be like, okay, that bothered me. And sometimes just saying that out loud is enough for you to kind of process through that energy and release it. And then we have our 7 of Rings coming into the conversation. So our 7 of Rings is about investment and diligence. So I do feel like this idea of investment, in order to receive something out of it. And the message that I'm getting for you is to invest in yourself. Again, invest in developing those skills that we talked about. Those skills that are going to, mastering your communication, mastering your confidence, building yourself up, just like investing in yourself, in your emotional stability, in your voice, in your, the things that bring you joy. That is kind of the investment that I'm getting here. And I feel like this idea of diligence is like continuing to do it and do it and do it. Like not stopping, not giving up, is going to be really important. I feel like moving forward, that there might be situations where you're maybe disheartened or you feel like you've had a setback or something. And I feel like the message here is to keep going. Even if things don't turn out right away like you think they're going to be, I feel like this idea of continuing to pursue is actually going to yield a result. I feel like in our Sadalakali, this energy of just like setting down roots, standing strong and not budging. So there are going to be storms, and it's this idea of like standing strong, having a solid foundation, standing up for yourself, standing up for your beliefs, arriving confidently and sticking it out like I am here. This is where I belong, and nothing is going to sway me from living in this truth. So then we have our golden poppy added to the conversation. I absolutely love this card. It reminds me of the sun card energy. The keyword for our golden poppy is dream. And I feel like in dream, it's really this idea of, I feel like it could literally be talking about focusing on your dreams, that spirit is speaking through your dreams. So if you don't already journal your dreams, then starting to do that and really just paying attention to your dreams and messages in them. But I also feel like this is about like envisioning the life that you desire, focusing on that. Instead of focusing on being an outsider, if you will, or the emotional distress that you're in right now, I feel like this card is saying, dream. Spend some time vividly seeing, imagining what your life would be like if it were exactly the way you want it to be. And I feel like leaning into that will help to brighten up, I'm feeling like, and also seeing things more clearly. I feel like, sometimes the muck of life can dirty up our windshield. So it's when we clean off the muck that we actually see, first of all, what's coming, but also we see whether or not we're on the right path. I feel like these emotionally distressing things, dwelling on our shortcomings or, wishing we could be something or whatever, living in that space is like muck on our windshield, and we have to wipe it away and live in the reality of the situation and make what we desire come to reality, come to fruition. So I feel like that's kind of what our golden poppy energy is talking about here. It's just like seeing your life vividly, how you want it to be. How do you feel? What's in your life? Who's in your life? How do they make you feel? Like just kind of envisioning all of these aspects. And I have a lot of water placements, really strong water placements in my first, my sun, moon, rising. So I am actually very imaginative, and I like to do this. I really enjoy doing this because to me it really puts in perspective even some of the difficult times in life. Like, okay, I'm not exactly where I want to be, but you know what? I see where I'm going. And then it's amazing to me how then things start falling into place once you're clear on what fits and what doesn't. So when I know what belongs, anything that is not that just gets pushed to the side. Like, no, insecurity, no, fear, no, like, you don't belong here. This is not my vision. You can't stay. You gotta go. So just that kind of energy. Protect your energy. Black tourmaline. Yep. Protect your energy. I'm getting the message for some of you that you will benefit from, like, there might be some changes needed in, like, your support group that, people that are pessimistic, that are always going through something, that are always seem to be having some sort of challenge, or something horrible is happening always to them. I feel like, if that rings true for you and people in your friend group, like, just limit your exposure to them, because that negativity is going to rub off on you. That's going to get you thinking about all of the distressing things in your life instead of focusing on what you want your life to be. Has you dwelling in the past and dwelling in heartache and destruction, and then you end up manifesting more of that, which is exactly what you don't want. So I feel like the message there for that is to examine. We got decluttering. That's very much so connected. Examining and decluttering your friend space as well, because they siphon a lot of energy from you, or they can give. Like, if your friends are energy vampires, then it's time to, like, reevaluate. So we turned over lemongrass as well in our essential oil energy, and the keyword there is declutter. The trigger statement is, I made so many mistakes. Again, dwelling, right? Our 5 of Cups energy, dwelling. The truth is, I let it all go. I talked about this a little bit earlier in our conversation, but this idea of, it's okay to acknowledge that, you made a mistake, or that, something makes you sad, or however it makes you feel, but then releasing it, letting it go. Everything you have done up to this point is leading you to where you need to be. Let go of the past and be here now. I feel like this is intensely talking about the 5 of Cups. So if you were vibing with the 5 of Cups, some emotional distress, some sadness, which I'm really channeling for some of you guys, using some lemongrass essential oil might help you declutter and release some of that energy, using it safely, of course, and following the directions of the essential oils and stuff like that. So these are the general messages that I have for you, group number 2. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle our soul truth deck and add some questions to the conversation. So the idea for this portion is to select one of these soul truth questions to take with you through the week and meditate on it, journal through it, really think about it and lean into the lessons of these soul truth questions for your week is the intent of this purpose. So the intent of this portion, it is meant to give you a little bit of homework, a little bit of soul homework to do for the week, and also give you a focus for the week too. I feel like, it's really helpful to have something, you know, soul-wise, spiritually, to kind of just focus on. So whichever question triggers you or is calling to you, the idea is that you're taking that into the week with you. What can I burn is the first question. Burn it. Burn it all. The ugly lies, the pain, the shame, the criticism, the images that run through your head, the reminders of what you did wrong, and the proof that you are not enough. Burn, baby, burn. Your soul is calling. It's time for rebirth. You are like the phoenix, rising from the ashes, no longer attached to the past. You are free. Your wings are ready. Use them. So your week's soul action is to make the choice that you will no longer let the past define you. Pick up your pen. What will your next chapter look like? And that's literally what we already talked about today. This idea of, in the golden poppy, this idea of dream, this idea of envisioning your life, envisioning what you want your life to look like, feel like, be like. And anything that doesn't fit into that vision has no place, no space in your world. But I feel like it's this idea of getting clear on what you want and what you desire. I feel like that's what that journaling really is about. So if that is calling to you, I feel like that's a really amazing lesson. Am I getting enough rest to restore my energy and fully show up to my life? You are the asset. This body is your vehicle. Notice how your body is feeling, how much sleep you are getting, and what you can do to help your body rest. Your week's soul action is to take a bath, put on some lavender, essential oil, go to bed ridiculously early, or give yourself a time out today or someday throughout the week. Notice your body thanking you. Your mantra is, the more I give myself permission to rest, the more I can contribute. You know, this really feels like 8 energy to me. 8 energy is like the achiever of the numbers. But our 8s also understand the need to give back. Give back to others. Give back to ourselves. To rest. You know, it's about, 8 is the karmic energy where, our achievers know that they can achieve, or our 8s know that they can achieve, but then they need to give back in equal amounts so that they can achieve more. So I feel like this idea of restoration is really critical. And also listening to your body. Not thinking, oh, I can do this one more thing, or I can, no, if you're exhausted, if you're having trouble focusing, if you're not getting full night's sleep, if you're not getting quality sleep, pay attention to that. Pay attention to your body, because otherwise your body is going to rest some way, some shape, some form, somehow. So really paying attention to your body. I'm triggered by this myself. So you're not alone if you're vibing with that. Certainly not. So yes, listen to your body. Are you getting enough rest? And then our final question, where can I create more space? Oh my gosh, I feel like this is totally connected to our declutter conversation and our lemongrass card. So I'm just going to put it over there with the lemongrass. Where can I create more space? Instead of filling yourself up with busy work and things to do, create more sacred space in your schedule, in your home, your mind, your lungs, and in your heart. Take time to just be. And I feel like being here with me today, going through these Soulful 7 conversations, is a good start in that direction, talking about things that are going to build you up spiritually, that's going to restore you spiritually. I feel like you're on the right path there. You're on a really good start. So your week's soul action is to do a clutter detox of your schedule, home, and innermost self. Make space. Clarity will come. I feel like that's critical too. I feel like sometimes we just fill our lives with so many things. We feel like, oh, I have 2 extra seconds here. I can fill it up with something that's going to take 5 minutes. I don't know about you, but I'm triggered by it. I do that as well. And I feel like the message here is that, you know, creating space is so beneficial and crucial. And I feel like that's also very much so connected to our resting card as well. I like this idea of creating space in multiple places of our lives. And I feel like since this is a week-long thing for you, maybe taking up one of those things a day or every other day and kind of just leaning into making space for those things over the week. And potentially even longer than that, if that's necessary, to get yourself to a place where you actually are able to, you know, that decluttering energy. Okay, group number 2, these are the messages that I have channeled for you today. I certainly hope they were helpful. If they were, make sure to drop a comment and let me know what resonated. Also, make sure to let me know which question that you are taking with you through the week. Click a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're not already, as well as liking my Facebook page and checking out my Etsy shop where I curate content to help you on your spiritual and life journey. So thank you so much, beautiful soul, for spending time with me. I certainly appreciate your energy, and I will see you in an upcoming reading. Bye. All right, group number 3. Hello, hello, and welcome to your reading. So we're going to go ahead and give our divine feminine energies a shuffle to see what messages they have for you. Divine feminine energies, what messages do you have for group number 3 today? What messages for group number 3? What messages for group number 3 from our divine feminine energy? This card is calling. We literally just pulled her. Sarah LaCollie, you coming again? No, you coming with it again? Okay, Sarah. Queen of the Outsiders. I literally just pulled this card for group number 2. So, well, apparently Sarah has something else to say. So we're going to go ahead and let her speak. Sarah says, I have arrived. I am where I will always be, in love. So I am getting different energy, though, from you, group number 3. I'm really digging deep on this love message for some reason. In group number 2, we were really focused on this outsider energy, but I'm getting love. And now we have 6 of Cups. We have Metamorphosis, which is the Death card equivalent. Very interesting. All right, Sarah LaCollie, come with it. I have arrived. Ooh, I feel like the message here for some of you is, you know, if you are looking for love, like a love relationship, I feel like the message is that it's coming very, very soon. Like, it's rolling up. So in our 6 of Cups, you know, our 6 of Cups is about healing. It's about serenity. I also feel like it's kind of like that ultimate love energy too. I'm just getting romantic energy vibes, and this idea of metamorphosis, change, self-awareness. I am feeling like the love is starting from within. But I do feel like, you know, for some of you that could be, like, you could be on a journey, like a self-love journey, a metamorphosis of yourself, and, you know, discovering profound change as you move through, like, new spaces in your life. We have our 7 of Swords. But I do see, you know, we added 7 of Swords to our conversation. This idea of confusion and setbacks, I feel like, is very much so connected to this idea of healing. That in order to complete your your change, that there's going to be some need to address some things that are confusing to you, some difficult things in your life, and just, you know, acknowledging that they existed, acknowledging your part in them, and then releasing them, healing from them is also what I'm getting here. So for some of you, you know, again, I'm just vibing love hard on this. I'm getting the message that some of you might have almost like sacrificed something important to yourself, whether it was boundaries or something that you sacrificed in order to please a partner or something like that. I feel like releasing that, like acknowledging, yeah, that existed, and then releasing that by assuring yourself that you're not going to do that again. I feel like that's kind of the move on moment in a lot of cases for, you know, when we've made mistakes and done things. I feel like assuring ourselves is like, okay, how do you forgive yourself, but then how do you move on from that? I feel like the moving on and the true forgiveness on that is basically telling yourself, you know what, we're not going to go there again exactly in that same way. We're going to learn from this. We're going to take the lesson and not dwell on the events that happened. We're going to acknowledge the pain, and we're going to move forward from that. So I feel like, you know, as you go through your change, as you go through your transformation, getting the message that some of you, you know, might be in a place where you're trying to manifest a partner, and then some things, you know, you're feeling like, you know, there's some setbacks, or there's some confusion, or maybe you're attracting people who are confused or playing games or something like that. And I feel like the message here is, you know, diving more into self-awareness, addressing the issues that, you know, your past issues, your past struggles, and then kind of moving into, I feel like that's going to increase your confidence. And that's kind of what I see in Sadala Kali in general, is this idea of confidence. You know, I have arrived, she says. You know, that is a very confident, unapologetic type of energy. And I feel like getting to that place is also going to, I feel like there's a lot of work. These are the messages. I'm getting a lot of messages flowing through this conversation. So we're going to slow them down. We're going to talk about them one by one. So one of the things that I did feel intensely with this idea of confidence and building confidence is about being sure that you understand what you want out of a situation, out of a love relationship, you know, out of yourself. You know, what do you want your life to look like? This idea of envisioning your life the way you want it to be, the way you see it. I feel like that's a really strong message. And then the idea also of knowing what you want in a partner. So if you feel like you're ready to manifest a partnership, I feel like the message is, what are you manifesting? What are you asking for? This idea of being clear in general, what you want. And it's not just about physically what you want your person to look like or sound like or whatever. It's really about, how do you want to feel when you're around this person? How do you want to be when you're around this person? I feel like being really clear on what you want from them, what you want out of life, being clear and certain that you are on your destined path. I feel like all of these elements kind of tying together. And of course, they will need to be built up in layers, but having all these things tied together, I feel like will increase your confidence, and your healing will be able to begin. Your healing will be able to really, truly start to take root inside of you. I feel like that will also increase self-worth as well. And then you will be exactly where you will always be, in love. So this idea of being in love, I think, is really important as well. In love for yourself, in love for the things that you do, in love for the things that you create, in love for the partnership that you attract. All of that is connected and related in this conversation. So if you do feel like you've gone through some setbacks, or you are confused on levels of like emotions, or even your own self-growth, or even connected to or related to manifesting a partnership. I feel like all of these things that we just discussed is going to be really critical to your growth and your forward momentum and movement and healing from that. And so we have Bearberry added to the conversation with the keyword of strength. I feel like is so critical. Like metamorphosis, going through change in general, is going to take strength. And not, this reminds me of the strength card. So not strength as in, just strength of, brute force type of strength, but this idea of strength of character, of strength through kindness and self-advocacy, developing your own voice, developing a strong thought, thoughts and a mind that is not easily swayed, I guess, is kind of the energy that I'm thinking about here and feeling here. But this idea of strength could go in so many different ways, but that is going to be critical and crucial to you developing or you attracting the life and the love that you want to see for yourself. So we have Angel Aura Quartz added to the conversation. This idea of lighten up, I feel like is a really beautiful message. I feel like this energy is like, oh, we're talking about such heavy things. This idea of complete metamorphosis and transition to another part of our lives, and manifesting the life that we want, the love that we want. It's like really heavy topics, and I feel like our Angel Aura Quartz is here to say, you know what, lighten up a little bit. Be gracious to yourself is the message that I'm getting here. Have fun, enjoy the process as well. I don't know how well you can see our Sadala Kali, but she has like this slight, it's not like a smile, but it's like this, it's like this slight, I'm just going to call it a smile for lack of a better word. But it's like, she has this confidence, right? I have arrived. I am where I'll always be in love. Like this confidence, this self-assuredness. But I also feel like this idea of I have arrived is just reminding me of Leo energy in general. Like just the life of the party, like coming into the room with the intent and purpose of enjoying yourself, regardless of what anybody else has to say, what anybody else feels, or anything like that. Like you are there, you're going to enjoy yourself, you're going to lean into it. And I feel like this idea of leaning into your transformation and also like enjoying it as well, and leaning into the process of it. And I feel like that will kind of calm your anxiety. I was feeling a lot of anxious energy, and I had to like bring myself all the way back in the beginning of our conversation. But just this like really intense, very anxious energy. That's like the only word that I can really use here. But yeah, really anxious energy I'm feeling, or I felt. But I feel like lightening up a little bit, not making everything so do or die, you have to do this now, and just understanding. I feel like sometimes we get really anxious, especially when we talk about love specifically, because we feel like we're running out of time. But I feel like the message is, you know what, you have time. You have time to nurture yourself, and I think that's really interesting that geranium has come into the conversation. And this keyword of nurturing, you have the time to nurture yourself. You have the time to heal and still find your partner with enough life left in you to actually enjoy your connection. Our trigger statement here with geranium is, I am all in my head. The truth is, I create with pleasure. I create with pleasure. So I feel like the message that is coming from this is, what have you done in the past, or you could still do today, that you are using creative energy that brings you joy, that brings you pleasure, that when you are engaging in that activity, time just escapes you. And you're like, what? I've been working on this for 6 hours? That sort of thing. I feel like leaning into things like that, I feel like that's like kind of the angel or quartz energy of lightening up and doing things that you enjoy doing that are creative. I feel like that's also a part of the self-awareness thing, you know, and that self-care thing. And this idea of nurturing yourself, nurturing your creativity, nurturing the things that you want and the things that you desire. And I feel like that will answer a lot of the questions, like what I would consider like those deep questions. You know, those questions are like, what do you want to do with your whole entire life? Like those really intense questions. I feel like this idea of leaning into things that you just really enjoy, things that bring you pleasure, things that time just flies by when you're doing them. I feel like that's the simple answer. And I feel like enlighten up as well is like, don't overthink things. Don't overdo it. Just like, you know, like, yes, you have to address things that are challenging, that are difficult, that confuse you. And you have to move, you know, acknowledge and release those things and move forward. But also enjoy life. And everything doesn't have to be so serious. Take time to rest. And in that time, be open to creative pursuits. Surround yourself with things that please your senses and be gentle with yourself. Oh my gosh. Be gentle with yourself. Be gentle with yourself. You know who I'm talking. Yes, you. I'm talking to you. Be gentle with yourself. Be gracious and forgiving to yourself, and understand that, you know what, you're going through change right now, and change doesn't happen overnight. You know, there's a transition period. So be gracious to yourself. Be gentle with yourself. Okay, so those are the general messages that I had for you today, group number 3. Now we're going to add some soul truth questions to our conversation. Really, the intent of our soul truth questions is to give you some basically homework, some soul homework for the week. The idea here is that you select the question, whichever question is, you know, calling to you, or whichever question triggers you. Bringing that forward with you through the week, and really working on it, journaling, journaling on the question, meditating on the question, whatever it is that you do. It's just like basically soul homework, something for you to think about every single day that's related to and connected to your spiritual growth, and filling your cup up instead of you just filling up everyone else's cup. All right, so let us see. I'm over here shuffling away. How can I infuse more self-love and compassion into my daily life? If your compassion does not include yourself, it is incomplete. That is a quote from Buddha. Today, the soul action for the week is to choose one self-care action to do today. And there's a list of them on this card. So set stronger boundaries, meditate and listen to your heart. Speak to yourself with compassion, focus on your strengths. Say no to something that isn't a soul yes. Say yes to something you are afraid of. Let go of what you cannot control. Stay far away from drama and negativity. Ask for help and allow it. Write down 3 things you are grateful for. Okay. How can I infuse more self-love and compassion? Who am I ready to forgive? Forgiveness is king. Forgiveness. Who am I ready to forgive? I am not what happened to me. So if you're connecting with that confusion, that setback, some emotional healing that needs to happen, this card might be connecting to you. I am not what happened to me. I am who I choose to become. Quote by C.G. Jung. It is time to let go, forgive, and move forward. Is your soul ready to forgive someone else or yourself. Forgiveness brings sweet release, freedom, and insight. Look at it from their shoes. Notice how you grew and what you learned. Who do you want to become, and how is this resistance holding you from what your soul wants? So your soul action for the week is to write a forgiveness letter. Then practice the Ho'oponopono prayer today. I'm not familiar with that. While thinking of the person you are ready to forgive. I love you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. Yeah, forgiveness, especially self-forgiveness, is so critical, crucial to like soul growth. We hold on to so much baggage and it blocks so many blessings. This idea of, not forgiving, holding on to things. Then we gotta make space for all of our blessings, In order to do that, we gotta let go. We gotta release that negativity that's taking up room. And then our final soul truth card is name all the things you love. Name all the things you love. Are you one of them? Whoa. I give myself all the love and attention I need is your mantra for the week. That is intense. Am I one of them? Whoa. That is so interesting. All right, group 3. Well, these are the messages that I have channeled for you today. I hope this was helpful for you. If it was, make sure to drop a comment and let me know what resonated. Also, let me know which question you are deciding to take with you for the week. Click like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are not already, as well as liking my Facebook page and checking out my Etsy shop where I curate content to help you on your spiritual and life journey. Thank you so much, beautiful soul, for spending time with me today. I certainly appreciated your energy, and I will see you in an upcoming reading. Bye.